What things do you hate the most about other bowlers? You know, those pet peeves. We all have them. The things that other bowlers do that get on our last nerve. What sort of things do I mean? Well, as you saw in the thumbnail, there is a washout, and bowlers who claim that a washout is a split could be one, because of course if the head pin is standing, then it's not technically a split. So one pet peeve could be a bowler who always gets bowling terminology incorrect. But in this video, I'm going to talk about some more common ones that people have, and you can probably relate with a number of these pet peeves. These are not mine particularly, but some of the most common that most bowlers have. I think one of the biggest hates that bowlers have is coming across bowlers who are never ready to bowl when it's their turn. These bowlers always seem to take 5 minutes to come and take their turn because they're normally chatting away with their teammates or at the bar getting drinks. Now look, during league it's meant to be fun, and these type of people aren't in a rush because they're there to just enjoy the evening. For some, the longer the evening the better because they're not in any rush to get home. It's their night out and they're there to enjoy it. But many others find it frustrating when they consistently are so slow to bowl their frame. Likewise, bowlers who take a long time on their approach can be a frustration. Some people really do take an age to throw the ball, and it can really slow things up for the pair, especially if they don't strike a lot. Another big one is lane courtesy. There are people who seem to want a 2-lane courtesy in a league, when obviously 1-lane courtesy in your average league is absolutely fine. And also, the opposite of that are people who seem to ignore lane courtesy completely. These are often bowlers who've been bowling for 30 plus years. They know the game, they understand lane courtesy, and they should know a lot better, but they just don't seem to look and will just jump up ahead of you. Both of these lane courtesy issues aggravate bowlers everywhere. Another big pet peeve for people are bowlers who turn up with 20 balls and try and fit them all on the rack. There are quite a few bowlers out there guilty of having 4 or even 5 balls on the rack at a time, and if you're in a trios league, then that just isn't going to work. Perhaps another could be bowlers who abuse the staff members. I think we've all met one person like this that seems to think everything is the staff's fault and will regularly berate and shout at the staff for one reason or another. Another one is bowlers who wait for their ball to come back on the approach, so not stepping back and allowing somebody else to bowl their next shot. Also, people who are extremely superstitious, who won't throw their shot if there is a split next to them, although I know there's quite a few people out there who are like that, especially if there's a split on the left side and the right side, then that bowler is definitely backing away and will not be throwing their shot. I personally don't have too many pet peeves. I think the only one I probably have is when people give lane courtesy during practice, especially during tournaments, just because I want to try and get as many shots in as possible, and as it's practice, to me lane courtesy just doesn't really matter. Maybe as well because I'm a lefty, I'm normally standing further away, certainly on one of the lanes if I'm playing straighter, so it doesn't feel to me like the person on the lane next to me is close to me or in the way. I mean, look, I could go on and on because there are so many of these, but I think the ones that I've mentioned are some of the most common. But I suppose the big question is, what is your biggest hate when it comes to encountering other bowlers in leagues or tournaments? What really grinds your gears? Perhaps it's one of the things that I've mentioned, but maybe you've got more. So make sure to let me know in the comment section below all of your pet peeves. I'm looking forward to reading these because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of them in there. And yeah, I mean, bowling in a league, it can be a fun experience, especially if you're bowling in a league with people who are just there to have fun. Then I'm sure you would have encountered quite a few of these in your time. Well, that's going to bring us to an end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you have, I would appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button below so you don't miss any of my future videos. And I just want to let you know that I released a video a couple of days ago about urethane bowling balls, specifically the most underrated urethane bowling balls of all time, because we all know the pitch black and the purple hammer are some of the best urethane balls ever released. But what about those urethane balls that were really good but just did not get the credit they deserve. Well, in that video, I discuss just that. So if you want to see which urethane balls made that list, then you can watch the full video by clicking the link above. Well, that is going to do it from me for today, and as always, thank you bowling fans, and see you all next time.